I need to take a detour before we head back. There's someone I have to deliver this crystal to. Hang tight for a moment. This old lady, she doesn't really know who's who anymore.
Oh, grandson. It's so cold today. You must be freezing.
Ma'am, it's me, Alosha.
Alosha? Alosha who?
You know me. I came by earlier today. Cleaned the ashes out of your stove, gave you some warmer bedding, and washed your back.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. Now, how often do I get to see my grandson, hmm? Come on, take a seat and relax while I fix you something to eat.
It's okay. You just rest. I'm fine.
Oh, you. It's nice to come and visit your old granny once in a while, isn't it? Sretomaros, a good town. All sorts of things to do and people to meet. And the local officials are good to us. Sit down, come on, take a seat. I still have some fruit left. Let me get it for you.
Please, don't get up on my account. You need to rest. Where's the fruit?
Right under the basket by the door. Or maybe it was on the bedside cabinet. Well, grandson dear, do you like it?
Very much, ma'am. It's delicious.
Good, good. Wonderful.
You don't need to save any more for me next time, all right? Fresh fruit is hard to come by at the moment. You should eat it as soon as you get it.
Oh, I don't need it. I'm fine. But if you like it, come back for some more soon.
Some kind soul must have given these to her. But she always saves the nicer things for special occasions. I met her at the market back before her health began declining. She was a lovely old lady. We're from the same hometown. Not many people have heard of Alatir. And if they have, it's usually for all the wrong reasons. There's a gang of highwaymen that came from there. Now that it's an abandoned village, it's rare to find anyone who shares fond memories of our hometown. So after we got talking and realized we were from the same place, we decided to keep in touch by letter. I first learned of Sretomaros' energy supply problems from a passing comment in one of her letters. Then, after her health went downhill, I started visiting more often to check in on her. The town's been in decline for a while now, but because of her memory problems, she thinks of it as the bustling, prosperous Sretomaros still in its heyday. That said, I kinda appreciate her optimism. There's not much of it going around in this world of ice and snow. It's fine. Everyone grows old. In Snezhnaya, some people believe that in your final moments, you'll sense a familiar presence by your side. You turn to look at them, but their face is blurry. So you focus hard, trying to make out who it is. And when you finally see their face, the Grim Reaper reaches out and takes your life. She still calls me grandson, though. So at least I'm not a blurry face in her world just yet. Come on, let's get back and see how Paimon's doing.
Are you feeling any better?
Yep. Paimon's not cold anymore, but she's still a little dizzy. Flying probably isn't a good idea right now. Paimon might lose her balance. But Paimon's sure she'll be fine. It's probably just from getting hit on the head by that pile of snow when we first arrived in Snezhnaya.
Her complexion's looking much better. Let's keep an eye on her.
Sure, but enough about that. How did everything go on your end? Are you all set? Did you have any trouble?
I'll explain. It's a bit of a long story.
Jeez, you guys got pretty busy. Sounds like the liaison officer and the mayor were running quite an operation. Good riddance to both of them. It's a good thing you managed to catch them. So, you said the train station will open again soon, right? And everyone has enough crystal now?
Yeah. Well, enough to survive at least. Project Snezhnaya isn't going away anytime soon. People will still have to scrimp and save to make ends meet. Don't know. The goal of Project Snezhnaya is to gather energy for the tstaritsa, but no one knows where that energy's going. It's never been made public. The thing is, we were told that the project would only last for 6 months, but time and time again, they keep extending it.
Extending it? Does that mean the tstaritsa's plan isn't going very smoothly?
That's what everyone suspects. In principle, any proposed extension needs to pass by majority vote in the Snezhnaya Veche. But even though opposition has been growing, any detractors end up caving in to political pressure from the rooster, Pulcinella. He's the chair of the Snezhnaya Veche and a key figure in the voting process. He has the backing of many powerful and influential people.
How come the fatui are picking on ordinary people even here in Snezhnaya?
I don't see it like that. Fundamentally, the fatui will always think and act in the tsaritsa's interests. But that doesn't mean they don't care about the plight of the common folk. The only reason Sratomero still receives crystal shipments is because of a relief proposal put forward by the rooster himself. Then there's the fatui soldiers providing support in every corner of the nation. Even the Northland Bank provided some mora for disaster relief, and they're as conservative and indifferent as they come. It's just that the rich and powerful in their fancy palaces live in a completely different world from us. There's always going to be some conflict when those worlds collide. Yeah, well, even though we all believe in Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, there are still many differences of opinion on how best to tackle the big issues of the day. Regular folk don't have an easy way of getting their voices heard in Snezhnaya, while the rich and powerful are either unwilling or afraid to speak out for all sorts of complicated reasons. The Rokad provides the disaffected with false identities and an outlet to vent their frustrations. Of course, an organization like that exists in a gray area. The moment the Veche think they've crossed a line, there's sure to be a crackdown. But so far, they've been doing their best to help the common folk. Like us, don't you mean? You didn't hesitate to join in. You're not new to this, I can tell.
That's because we're adventurers. It's our job to help people out with commissions and get to the bottom of things.
Sounds like we're going to get along. So, what's your business in Snezhnaya? Aside from taking your friend to see a doctor, of course.
I want to meet the tsaritsa. It's complicated. I've had run-ins with many of the harbingers along the way, and I really need to know what the tsaritsa is up to. Her ultimate goal, what the Gnosis mean in all of this. Since I've made it this far in my journey, I have to find the truth, whatever it takes.
Wait, so... No way. Are you... Who I think you are?
Sounds like you've heard of us then. We're getting more famous by the day.
I didn't realize I was in the company of giants. Honestly, we're all as curious as you are about what the tstaritsa's planning, and why it has to involve us freezing to death in the snow. But getting in the same room as her won't be easy. The common folk aren't permitted to meet her at the best of times, and right now, she's probably not even in Snezhnaya. Word is, she's heading east on a campaign to slay a monster. Yeah, so you've heard of it. A wild, unpredictable monster with the power to summon snowstorms. It also absorbs everything around it into its body, so it's growing constantly. Now, it's so big that the tstaritsa has deemed it the #1 threat. Luckily, as it grew, it became increasingly less mobile, so it doesn't pose an immediate threat to this town or to Snezhnaya. I'm sure that tstaritsa and her personal guard, the Druzhna, won't have any trouble defeating the creature between them. It's just a question of how long it'll take. Suffice to say, you won't be seeing her anytime soon. You'll have to wait until... Fair. Well, the fatui will be taking over management of the train station for the time being. Things should be up and running by tomorrow. Once it's open, we can see about getting your train towed to the station.
Whoa! That's gotta take a lot of manpower. Are you sure we can talk them into it?
The fatui aren't exactly spotless in this whole mess. Plus, we helped them out. Should be easy enough to negotiate. As far as I know, all the paperwork is dealt with upon manufacture. I've never seen anyone check it, so I wouldn't worry. Having a train makes everything much easier. We'll reach Snezhnaya in no time. I need to head there myself anyway. Got some game to trade for Mora. I know a good doctor in the city. I'll introduce you when we get there.
Oh, thanks so much. Let's get a good night's sleep ahead of our big trip tomorrow.
Drive carefully, all right? You don't want to end up in this situation again. Also, I don't think I've seen a train like this before. Is it a new model or something? Not a fan of small talk, are you? Anyway, take this. It's an up-to-date map of the Snezhnayan rail network. All the track switching is automated, so as long as the train's moving, you don't need to worry about collisions or anything. We'll leave you to examine the train's conditions yourselves. Fingers crossed nothing's broken. I doubt Sratomaros has any engineers with experience working on this model.
Shouldn't be a problem. Thanks for everything.
All right then. Have a safe journey. And make sure to check everything's working before you set off.
our destination settings have been applied. Let's give this thing a final once-over and then head out.
Affirmative. Running vehicle diagnostics.
What's this?
Engine, green. Wheels, green. Frame, minor damage, but no impact on function. Diagnostics complete. All systems nominal.
Neat! Huh. Paimon still can't get over the fact that you just found this tech lying around in a random cave.
I've lived in Snezhnaya my whole life, and I've never heard of an interactive, talking train autopilot.
Strictly speaking, I wasn't designed purely to drive trains, though I doubt you have any interest in navigating the practically unreadable operator's manual yourself. All configurations are complete. Should you require any further assistance, please call for the Eye of Grey.
Away we go! Ooh, nope. Paimon's gonna find a warmer seat. Huh? What's going on?
Oh no.
What is this place? Traveler, are you okay? Paimon's still airborne, but it feels like swimming through thick, gloopy water. Ugh, that's horrible.
Just our luck. Of all the things that could have gone wrong.
Halosha, you're Snezhnayan, right? Any idea what the heck this place is?
It's called the Shadow Realm. A place where no wind blows, no light shines, and no elemental energy flows. Even time itself doesn't exist here. It's a world where everything seems to come to a standstill. I've only seen it a few times before, and this is my first time inside. It's a dangerous place. Most people who get sucked into the Shadow Realm are never seen again. And the few who do make it back, they're never quite the same.
Huh? Then what the heck do we do now? Oh, maybe Goggles knows something. Goggles? Great! Now we're done for!
Hold it together. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I heard a story once about the world of shadows. If it's true, there's a way to escape. We just need to find the exit. Come on, let's explore.
Look at these fatui! It's like they've lost their minds!
Their shadows have been devoured. They're no longer amongst the living. I can't channel elemental energy here, but I have a few gadgets that still work.
Wait! What's that blue thing? Is that... Goggles?
Guess we'd better find a way over.
take point.
This is the last one.
What do we do next?
Play it by ear.
I failed.
Goggles!
Hello. I am glad to see the three of you safe and sound.
For now, at least. But things aren't looking too good.
Correct. We are now inside what is known as the Shadow Realm, the darkest space in the shell, where even the Most High is loath to cast its gaze. Time and space hold no meaning here. It intersects with the world of the Light Realm only rarely, like an air bubble that rises to the water's surface. We must leave this place before it sinks back down into the depths once more.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Yes. In fact, the very purpose of my creation was likely to... from the Shadow Realm. It appears that key data is currently inaccessible, but now is not the time to resolve that problem. I have marked the exit to the Shadow Realm for your convenience. In addition, I have prepared some equipment to aid you as you traverse the Shadow Realm, traveler. It may well be one of my core functions. Scan complete. Construction in progress. Activation code? We once peered into the past from the ruins of the shadows. This is what remains of the Golden City, Hyperborea.
Whoa!
Now go. Arm yourselves with weapons of the spirit. Bring down the walls of the stronghold, and extinguish the flaming arrows of the wicked.
Is this a gun?
In the Shadow Realm, where humans cannot channel the elements, there once was one who, after much research and many attempts, found this to be the most effective means of attack. Let's go. We don't have much time. When you encounter small obstacles, you can simply clamber over them. You can slide to navigate through low, narrow tunnels. Obstruction ahead. You may be able to use the... Since elemental energy is unavailable in the... For long-range targets, try using the scope to line up your shot. Many hostile units approaching. I suggest a new strategy. Take cover, and pick them off one by one.
Defenses have been breached!
More enemies detected. Try attacking with the newly unlocked assault function.
Defend the advantage! Where's the...
Nice.
It's...
Reload! Nice.
Where's the... back?
Aim at the freeze mark and pull the trigger to move using the rope.
Reload! Mind the rhythm.
Some supply points can restore a small amount of stamina. Press on.
Fall back. Back.
Back in business.
You should be able to use the prime ice construct left here to cover long distances. I recommend using this grappling gun. Such devices were originally used to secure structures in the Shadow Realm. If you detach the connected hook, the grappling gun will automatically fire a rope to another nearby hook.
Okay. So, we just removed this hook, right?
Time to catch my breath. Light him up!
Over.
Sprint at the prime ice launcher to reach high places with ease. Usable munitions detected. Frag crystal.
Frag out! Try this!
I'm hit. Over.
Shift your center of gravity and slide down.
The exit is right ahead. We are very close now. However...
It's like they're trying to keep us trapped here. That platform and the carriages are swarming with undead fatui. Guess we gotta storm through.
Time to catch my breath. Need a refill. Back in business.
You may find switching to assault mode makes your attacks more effective.
Reload. Gotta recharge.
Come on! We're almost there! Huh? Why is everything shaking so much?
Looks like the Shadow Realm is about to sink back down into the depths.
The exit is right here.
You mean this weird bubble thing? Wait, how exactly do we...
No time to think. We just gotta go for it. Looks like I was right. I can't believe the Shadow Realm manifested right on the railroad tracks. It's almost unheard of. Lucky we made it out. All thanks to you and that awesome gun.
Ah, so you have heard of the Golden City before?
Yeah, it came up a whole bunch in Nokrai. You're a pretty neat surprise in that sense, aren't you, Goggles? We had no idea they left cool gadgets like you behind.
Make no mistake, it was a team effort. For a first-time firearm user, your performance was quite outstanding. Far beyond my expectations. As Alosha said, it is highly unusual for the Shadow Realm to manifest in a place like this. But we should still watch out for similar dangers ahead.
Oh, let's hope not. If anything else goes wrong with this trip, Paimon's gonna have train trauma for life.
The Shadow Realm can appear anywhere, not just on the railroad. I am simply advising that we take sensible precautions. Now, if you wish to further calibrate and upgrade your firearm, you may do so over there, provided you have the necessary components. Please take a moment to catch your breath while I repair the body of the train. Amongst other things, this will ensure Paimon is a little warmer while on board.
Oh, thanks, Goggles. You're a trusty train conductor. Well, maybe trusty isn't quite the right word, considering. Anyway, at least you get the job done.
Yes, of course. And just like the Eye of Grey, I am sure it will be a great asset to you in your future adventures. If not the trustiest, then it will at least get the job done.
Let's get some fresh air while the Eye of Grey fixes the train.
Yeah, sure. Paimon wants to forget all about the Shadow Realm. It was so creepy in there. Stretching her legs might help take her mind off things. It's so quiet here for a train station. Not a person in sight. Just... Huh? So much for repair? You've swapped our train out for a whole new model!
My plan was to restore the train to its original appearance per my records as quickly as possible. Now that the repairs are complete, the train offers optimized performance and a significantly improved trendiness level.
Huh. Didn't know trendiness was a parameter.
According to my calculations, parameterization is the most effective way for the Eye of Grey to understand trendiness.
Hyperborea, huh? I'm sure I've heard of that in a story somewhere. What an incredible little gadget you are. You might want to avoid looking down if you're afraid of heights.
No, it's not that. Paimon's just praying that we don't have yet another accident. That mountain is breathtaking. Reminds Paimon of Dragonspine.
They say this mountain's the domain of a Snegovic lord. A lot of the Snegovic retreated there to live in seclusion, so it's a pretty mysterious place. You hear all kinds of stories. Even the residents of the nearby town of Svietlo-Lidovka steer clear of the summit, and they make a living off of harvesting prime ice. Look, Snezhnagrad's just up ahead. here we are. Welcome to Snezhnaya train station, the biggest transport hub in the nation.
Wow! It's so majestic! Just flying from one side to the other would probably leave Paimon out of breath!
It's built for maximum efficiency, but yes, transferring trains here can be a little tiring. In the future, you can use this train station to travel anywhere you want in Snezhnaya. For now, though, come with me. Let's get Paimon checked out. This way. There's a lift car that goes straight to Arni.
I'm listening. Even if I wanted to help, there's nothing I can do.
Tell me that. What am I supposed to do?
The latest, most exclusive news. Get yourself a copy!
Look! Look! They have really funny-looking heads! And those ones are about the same height as Paimon! But it looks like they can't fly!
Those would be Volkudlak and Domovoy. You'll also see the winged Vila and the snowborn Snegovic amongst others.
No wonder! We'd heard that Snezhnaya used to be the realm of the Fae. Paimon can really see it now.
To the left is the market of Zolny. They sell everything there. You can often find some nifty little trinkets. To the right, you'll see the Korolievsky Theater in the distance.
Look at that! Incredible! Wow! Snezhnaya is stunning! Seeing it with our own eyes makes all the trouble we went through to get here worth it!
I found it pretty stunning when I first came here too. But I soon found out that stunningly beautiful means stunningly expensive. I'm just a small-time hunter, so Zolny is where I spend most of my time. This way will take us to Podvorier restaurant. They offer food and lodging there, so you can get settled in while I fetch the doctor.
Is that gonna be stunningly expensive too?
Yeah, I mean, there are places to stay in Zolny, but I highly doubt they'd meet your standards. Most of the stoves are out of crystal, the windows are drafty, and at night, four-legged roommates come out to play, sharpening their claws on the roof beams and floorboards.
Yep, no way! Not a chance Paimon's staying anywhere like that. Maybe we can split the cost of the room between us? Paimon still has some savings left. Fine then. It's your treat. Paimon will save her money for buying a nice little cake. Don't worry. You'll get some too.
I'm glad to see you've perked up. If you find yourselves in the mood for some sightseeing later, there's a few places around here worth seeing. This way leads to Arni Palace, which serves as the tstaritsa's audience chamber and also her personal quarters. The adjacent block is kind of a city in its own right. That's Glupov, the headquarters of the Fatui. Inside, there's a munitions factory known as the Armory Palace, producing a constant supply of all kinds of equipment for the fatui. A lot of important research happens there, too. And over there is the Snezhnaya Vecha, where all the big shots meet regularly to make policy decisions. These places are best admired from a distance. I'm sure I don't need to explain why.
Yeah, they probably have super strict security. We're not looking for trouble right now.
The downtown area is near the center of Zapoliarny. That's where you'll find the restaurants, bookstores, and gift shops. Another place of interest is the Northland Bank, which is over this way. Oh, and I'm sure you'll want to make contact with the Adventurers Guild at some point, right? That's right here.
Ooh, speaking of adventuring, we use alchemy quite a lot. Do you know where we can find a crafting bench?
No one practices alchemy at Snezhnaya, I'm afraid. Apparently there's some historical reason for it.
Oh, we'll just have to use the one on the train then. Kinda inconvenient. Wait, how come there's one on the train if that's Snezhnayan too?
Yeah, I don't know. Not my area of expertise. Still, I wouldn't say the absence of alchemy makes life here any less convenient. Anyway... Finally, there's Zolny in that direction. It's mostly residential buildings and factories, but there's a few shops too. Worth a look around if you're interested. That's about it. You guys go ahead and get checked in while I track down my doctor friend.
Sounds good. Thanks for all the recommendations. It'll be good to get out of the cold wind. Paimon's starting to feel another headache coming on.
Podvorye restaurant is right this way.
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot. Yeah, much better now that we're out of the cold. Oh, thanks for taking such good care of Paimon. Honestly, she feels kind of bad for throwing a wrench in the works. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now. But instead, we're stuck here waiting for a doctor. You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard for no reason. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned so far and try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, the million-more question is, what is this tstaritsa planning? Everything else leads back to that. Sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, her plan also requires a ton of energy. But we won't get to see her anytime soon. Aloysia said that she went east to fight that big monster. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful. To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only the higher-ups in the government would know. Not word on the street type of info. Paimon can think of a few people who might be able to help us. But... right! And when we left Nocry, Snezhnaya specifically left a message reminding us which side we're on. So, it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the tstaritsa's grand plan. Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Glupov place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose, so it'd be a waste not to go. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe Arlecchino or Snezhnaya? Or possibly Tartaglia. But it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino, let alone Snezhnaya. She basically told us to stay in her lane already. Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right? Too bad we missed him in Nocry. Apparently, he came to help out.
Hello. Is there a traveler in Paimon in there?
That's Alosha! Come in!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather. I see. So you're my patient today, yes? And you're a Fae, I presume?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of Fae as the ones we saw at the train station. Is that gonna be an issue?
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even the healthiest and most long-lived of humans. But don't worry, I do have some experience treating Fae. I've even diagnosed plenty of cats and dogs in my time. Safe to say, I have a fairly eclectic range of expertise.
That'll be fine. Paimon's basically the same as a human. Right? We're no different when it comes down to it, are we? That's just because Paimon knows how to eat.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results are all within normal ranges. I don't think it's anything serious. More than likely, you've just caught a cold. I can give you some medicine to tide you over, but as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, you should feel better. Make sure to keep an eye on your temperature, though. If you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me again.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just doing my job. I'll leave you in peace now. Time to visit my next patients.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No sightseeing for the time being.
All right, then. Guess we've got no choice. Let's just treat it as a short vacation.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade Station in Zolny. The boss there knows how to reach me. Hey, no big deal. You saved my life in the Shadow Realm. This is the least I could do. See you around.
All right. Time to find Childe and see what he can tell me.
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit. Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation letter is issued. Might I ask who you're hoping to visit? Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just talk their way in here. You don't just show up and land a meeting with the Harbinger. But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Honestly, it's such a waste of time asking when I already know what the answer's gonna be. Wait a moment. I'll pass on your message. If Childe is unavailable, you'll have to go through the proper procedure. Lord Childe is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at the present. If I were you, I'd cut your losses. No point in waiting any longer. Even if you two are old friends as you claim, please understand that the fatui harbingers are often busy with their official duties. They tend not to stay in Glupov for extended periods. Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us, Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's her first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that she doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
No, Lady Marionette. No incidents to report. Whew, that was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
Is that right? Good to know. Wait, where's Paimon? Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. She's always buzzing with energy. I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. Has she seen a doctor? I can get you one if you need. All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia's had shown up outside. No appointment, nothing. And, as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was waiting outside in vain. So I had no choice but to abandon my freshly brewed piping hot tea and come to see this mystery guest for myself. Well, I felt our time working together in Nodcry warranted some courtesy. I couldn't exactly let you freeze to death out here in the wind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and as a harbinger, I have to lead by example. On the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class, unlike Nosha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of teas and cakes, so we can catch up there. Your treat, of course. Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That's why. I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm sure you trust my taste. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia, per se. You just want information, right? Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know. That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnaya Vetcha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project Stuzha. It's basically all anyone cares about in the Vetcha these days. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Pierro, before leaving for Natlan. In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia. I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Pierro didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded. That was his reaction, too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and barely spoke to him the whole time they'd known each other. But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So to the rest of us, it was clear that Capitano had quite a lot of respect for his young comrade. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and... actually, not Columbina. She was probably oblivious to it. Anyway, then the Liu-S situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. It's not really my place to talk about it, though. You can ask Tartaglia about it sometime. Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along. Right up until Pierro revealed the letter he'd left behind. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the fatui. Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose Tartaglia to assume command of his troops. He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. With the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and Regrator Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. No one would be able to stop them. So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Pierro, right? Exactly. Pierro also needed to back a harbinger as soon as possible. And, all things considered, Tartaglia was the best choice. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth. I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone, but seeking Pulcinella's support at the same time. What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea? Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnaya Vetcha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken, it plays out for all to see in that one little room. Having a voice in a Vetcha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group. Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the fatui soldiers. Personally, I have no interest in political jousting, but since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vetcha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the tstaritsa values most about him.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved, and the tstaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity. It must be nearly impossible to come up with a perfect solution.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me? Huh? Jealous? As if. Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Notcry, right? I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took that to heart? You... fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is, just leave it on my desk. I'll look at it later.
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Isn't it always? I've told you before, fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlolaidovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow, exceeding the maximum weight limit. The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation, but we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue and engineering teams.
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer you'll need. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. They can let her know that you had to step out for a while. Given how urgent this is, I'm sure she'll understand. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Between your skills and experience, you'd be reliable help. Then let's go. You, take 2 people to Podvorye restaurant. Find her room and watch it like a hawk until we get back. If anything happens to Paimon, you'll be answering to me.
Yes, Lady Marionette.